This previous original video was done downstairs in the kitchen with props on my mum's old video, which fell apart the other day. So I can't upload it nowhere now because it's on the hard drive and that. So if I want to see it again, make it available for anyone else to see if you like it. I've got to do it again. And I really can't be bothered to going through the rigmarole, getting all the shebang together. So I'm going to improvise, right? This is it. So anyway, there's a character in Britain. This is on YouTube there, people, not for Facebook. People in like somewhere else might see it. My cousin in Canada who hates me, that'd be better. They've sent an email. Sheila, please tell him we've got a new video. Anyone else, right? Who's abroad. There's a character in Britain called Grayson Perrett. He's an artist. And he wears pigtails in his art and ladies' dresses. And there was this comedy weird thing on, and I saw him, and I'm like, what is he? And then anyway, he said he's an artist. I went, right, you're not going to forget him. And anyway, it was 10, 15 years later, I was flicking through the channels, and it was like, Grayson Perrett, installation art. I don't know, what the fuck's this? I've got to see what it is. So anyway, he's travelling around the country, going to various types of places, and he's like getting a grip of what goes on there and the type of people, and he's making an art installation of whatever the fuck that, something like weird in a room, not on one wall like a painting. What would set you 5 years or something, or 16 Chapel, what would set you 40 because it's modern and it's better than them. I don't know. Well, I have a crack. Anyway, so he goes everywhere, does everything. And then eventually, right, he goes to a Cumbrian fishing village up north in northern Britain where the sea is cold and the winds are harsh. And like, there's an old lady with dementia, but her husband still goes fishing every day. He's a proper fisherman. And anyway, he says, this is an interesting project. Maybe I could create some art that could benefit the community, specifically this old lady. Maybe it could help like ease stroke cure dementia. That's what he's onto. He's like the Gandhi of art, you know what I mean? Like the Jamie Oliver of cooking, but art sort of thing. So he's just gonna sort everything out with his art. So he's like, anyway, he sat there like talking to her about like, oh right, what do you do? And she's like, mainly watch TV, but and what does your husband do? And she's like, what's an husband? And he's like, the man that you married. Man? Like, what man? Like, the man is going to come in about 10 minutes' time. Your husband, you sleep with every night in that bed. And she's like, oh, something news to me. And then when he comes in, she goes, oh, hi, him. He turns the channel on every night. So he's like, right, I'm onto something. So anyway, he starts carving this figure. And he like got the, like, you know, what's it called? I don't know. Fishing gear on. Like, you know, the long jacket that's like waterproof and a pair of wellies. And the captain's that, right? Because he's got a little apprentice fisherman who's like 14, who's going to train up. If we didn't have him, you know, he'd just have all the hat on because, like, he'd be the boss of no one. It'd be pointless. But, you know, he is a captain. He's got a little one. So he carves this little figure, right? And sticks it on top of the cellar, right? And he's watching cellar, and he says, see that? Yeah. And she goes, yeah. You know what that is? It's a fisherman. She goes, oh, fisherman, I've seen them. Yeah. And you're like, you know a fisherman? And she's like, oh, do I? And he's like, yeah. Your husband. She's like, what's an husband? He's like, forget that. The man who lives here. And she's like, 6 o'clock. What? That bloody television goes from my shit to some other. That's him there. Oh, right. Right. I'm expecting him. Yeah. I get annoyed about 5:30. So Grayson's like, I've cracked it. I think I might have, like, you know, cured her dementia. Like that. So he comes back 2 weeks later, and he's like sitting with her, and he goes, see the figure there? And she's like, yeah. What is it again? What's that? Fisherman? Yeah, yeah. So who's coming in at 6 o'clock? Pat? Eh? What happens at 6? That bastard telly gets turned off. And who does that? I have no idea. He's like, what? So as it stands, Grayson Perry didn't cure dementia with his twiddly little toy, his little fisher man that he stuck on top of the telly, because no fucking amount of medication and no fucking amount of research and no fucking amount of psychiatry has managed to fucking cure dementia. It lasts 500 fucking years. And Grayson Perry's certainly not going to do it with a fucking twiddly little toy that a 12-year-old won't play with. So I thought, right, now it's my turn. Right? I'll do a bit of installation out. Right. And what it is I was having my tea, right? Previously it was steak and chips downstairs. I had it all lined up. But I've had to go in my ashtray. A bowl of soup. So I was having a bowl of soup, right? But it was thick broth, you know, it was going to fill me up. But it was only 20 minutes before my tea. But I wanted Coca-Cola, which I like, you know, exclusively live off. Despite the fact my teeth are falling out, I'm getting fat by the minute. So if that be the case, I'm going shop, pal. You know what I mean? I'm not doing without. I'm not having a cup of tea. All this shit. And it's just standard procedure for me since roughly the age of 12. And I've got a few p in my pocket. And if I get a can of Coke, bottle of Coke, whatever, I'm getting a packet of crisps, minstrels, standard usually, maybe an ice cream every fucking time. I'm not leaving without them, pal. So irrespective of what's happening next, having my fucking tea, whatever. So you're there, you get in there, and like tea's ready in 10 minutes. You're like, wait a minute, that ice cream looks quite fucking tempting, and it's starting to melt. Is there any point in putting it in the fucking freezer? I might as well have it now. So you tuck into that, but you can have it pretty rapid because you're not having to bite. It's like because it's freezing. Finish that off. Wallop the fucking chocolates with your Coke that you just purchased, and maybe save the crisps for after. You know what I mean? And your mum was like, you what? You're eating that now when your tea is ready in 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah. I can finish my tea, a substantial meal. If there's a packet of crisps knocking about that I bought from before, one in cupboard, I'll eat 10 minutes after. No problem. Get rid of that. Put that away. So anyway, but as it stood on this particular occasion, right, after me cornetto, minstrels, and packet of crisps, I didn't even fucking feel like my bowl of soup. Could not be asked. Now, I haven't got the crisp packet paper, the cornetto paper, the minstrel paper that I had last time, but I do have the can of Coke representing the trip to the shop and all the accoutrements purchased therein. Installation, fucking art, mate. The Grayson Perry of Rochdale. Yeah, it's slightly shitter. It's not as well kept. It's not in a pigtail. Just looks like half a Scargo and a fucking hurricane.